cut out this year.
Either 5% or it's
No, lately,
most you can get is 5%.
but well, you might have pushed it on down some years then.
Coming off 2 years, be better off waiting.
Yeah.
Well, not
Go. Nobody know what they wanna do. Waiting on the road out there. Don't know what to do out there. Down in the stew land. I wondered. I'm happy to meet you.
Y'all ready? Good evening, everyone. It's January 28th, 2025. The time is 6:03 p.m. And we're going to call to order this meeting of the City of Gallatin Council Committee. And we will begin with a roll call. And Ms. Danielle is here in Ms. Kittrell's absence this evening to call the roll.
Thank you, Mayor. Vice Mayor Hayes.
Present.
Councilman Alexander.
Present.
Councilman Carter.
Present.
Councilman Fan.
Here.
Councilman Fennell.
Here.
Councilman Jones.
Here.
And Councilman Javance. Mayor, we have a quorum.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for being here. This evening, you have the minutes from the Council Committee meeting on January 14th, 2025 for you to consider approving.
So moved.
Motion to approve by Vice Mayor Hayes, second by Councilman Javance. Are there any corrections or additions requested? Seeing none, all in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye. Opposed, say no. They are approved. We'll now move to public recognition. This is a committee meeting or a work session. All the public recognition is at the beginning of the meeting. So if you have anything that you'd like to address, it can be something that's on the agenda or something that is not on the agenda. You can come to the podium. We allow you 5 minutes to speak. We ask for your name and your address for the record, and just to be as nice as you possibly can when you do speak. With that, public recognition is now open. And I see no one indicating they wish to speak, so public recognition is closed. Moving now to mayor's comments. Just a few things this evening. First of all, I do know that the Kittrell family appreciates your thoughts and prayers as Connie recovers, and I know many of you have been keeping up with her, and she appreciates it. Spoke to her husband today, and so far so good, they think. Tomorrow, no, not tomorrow. What's today? Today's the 28th. On the 1st of February, it is Vice Mayor Hayes' birthday, so be ready for celebration. On the 15th is the Winter Farmers Market at the station. I mentioned that last week. It's like the farmers market, except in the wintertime indoors, and it's across the street at the station where the chamber is. I went to the first one they had a couple weeks ago, and it was really great. I think they said they had 24 vendors and a good turnout over there. On the 17th is President's Day. Most city offices will be closed on that day. The Gallatin Shalom Zone Sneaker Ball is coming up at St. John Vianney Gym, another fun event to benefit a great cause happening in our community. That's on the 22nd at 6 p.m. Contact the Shalom Zone. Also that evening, Sumner Academy is having their annual fundraiser, a dinner and auction at Epic Event Center, and you can contact them. Then on the 23rd is the Volunteer State Archaeological Society of Tennessee Artifact Show at the Gallatin Civic Center, and that is from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. Should be very, very interesting. And I think that is all the events that I have to share with you this evening, unless I've forgotten one that y'all want mentioned. All righty. Moving now to the regular agenda. The first item is ordinance 02501-7. It's an ordinance awarding the bid for the Sumner County Regional Water Transmission Main Project Line D. And David Kellogg, Superintendent of Public Utilities, is recognized.
Thank you, Mayor Brown. Good evening, Council. This is the second of 5 projects associated with the Sumner County Regional Water Regionalization Project. It's an ARPA-funded project. This line will serve the city of Westmoreland, runs from Mount Vernon Road up about 3,000 feet, ties into some existing lines that they've got. It's a 12-inch line. The bids were good. The low bid was $572,000. They were all very competitive.
So far, so good.
Motion to send it on.
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Hayes, second by Councilman Fennell. Any questions, any discussion? Councilman Javance.
Thank you, Mayor. How it is compared to what you were expected? Is that on the ballpark or?
They were under the engineer's estimate for the project.
Okay, cool.
Else? Okay, all in favor of moving forward ordinance 02501-7, please say aye. Opposed, say no. Moves forward to council unanimously. Item 2 is ordinance 02501-8, ordinance appropriating $4,044.71 to Parks and Rec from insurance recoveries. Mr. Brown, Parks and Rec Director.
Very good, Mayor.
That's.
You don't even have to say a thing now, do you? Unless you want to describe the accident.
Yeah, we had an accident, and this is the insurance money to repair the truck.
Motion to move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Javant, second by Councilman Alexander. Any questions? All right, it's ordinance 02501-8. All in favor of moving forward, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Does move forward unanimously. Item 3, capital improvement plan. Continued discussion on this with our finance director, Rachel Nichols.
Good evening. Before the meeting, I laid on your desk the revised capital improvement plan. Thank you for those of you who sent your preferences in on priorities. We've incorporated that in the list. The mayor and I have gone over it and tried to layer in the projects in something that would be reasonable and try to keep the funding levels year to year somewhat level. It looks like we will potentially need some general obligation bond issues in the coming year, just given the number of projects that are out there that the city needs for the growth. I'll be happy to answer any questions, but if you are agreeable with this list, this will be what we build the 2026
We'll ride in the
budget
budget
around.
with it.
Exactly.
And I think everything is subject to adjustment if a certain opportunity comes along or a certain need elevates and say there's a development associated that has funding to improve something. But we tried to look at these and figure out, where they made the most sense and what the biggest priorities were, and kind of mix in some wants with some needs and space them out in a realistic way to get them executed.
There are several that are highlighted in blue that we feel like there are a good potential for grant funding or MPO funding, and we'll be pursuing those avenues. I have layered in the revenue growth that the general fund normally sees year to year. Pre-COVID, general fund revenues increased roughly 7% annually. Actually, post-COVID, it's been running about 10% annually. A lot of that was the stimulus money that was pumped into the economy right at COVID. And then, of course, Gallatin's property values have increased greatly over the last few years. So that's reflected in our revenue numbers and our revenue projections.
The sales tax increase projections, are they calculated in?
There is a conservative addition on sales tax and on census for state shared revenues. That's been included in the,
And I think you also programmed in the designated funds from our reserve.
yes, those are highlighted in green. We've been putting money aside for those over the years, knowing that those projects were forthcoming and that we would be obligated on them. So those are the numbers in green that we set aside already and will use to fund those projects.
Mayor,
Yes.
when are the budget, it's like a week or something we spend?
We will schedule it sometime in March. The deadline for the department heads to submit their budgets is the end of February. Talk to the department heads today. I think we're going to have a budget workshop amongst us just to kind of help department heads have awareness of what other departments' ask are, because I think that's always something that's just missing at the end of the process. But the budget hearings are publicly noticed, and that's when each department head comes in and presents to the mayor their budget requests. Schedule them in March. We don't usually do them all in 1 week, do 3 or 4 a day kind of thing in the afternoon.
Okay,
But
thank you.
we have to publicly notice them, so you'll know
I'm
when.
just trying to get them on my calendar.
I know. We haven't even talked about when we can do it yet. I've got some outstanding things.
I was talking to a guy at the gym the other day from the Hendersonville Park System, and I think I might have said something to Paige about it, but he was talking about they landed a grant that could possibly turn into $6 million for the park in Hendersonville, but he said that the grant also was coming for a part of the sales tax that was on referendum where they increased it in some way that they was able to match off the sales tax grant. Are you aware of anything like that Hendersonville's doing?
I am not, but I will look into it.
Hendersonville did get a large park grant, I know that. I thought it was in the $3 million and something dollar range.
But what was interesting was being able to secure a grant off of the money for the increase in the sales tax.
That may just have been what they said is their match. That's probably just where they recognized that their match would come from for it. And I don't know if it was a 50%, I don't think it was a 50% match, as I recall. It's been a while, it's probably been 6 or 8 months ago since they got that. I don't.
Well, the subject just come up like, I think it was Saturday or Sunday.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm looking on the bottom, the orange side. Always on orange, is that what you recommend we're going to have to get a bond?
Yes, sir. If you want to do all these projects.
And stuff I'm looking at too is Fire Station 1 replacement, 8.5. I think we're kind of low on that.
I'm sorry.
Kind of low on the 8.5 for the fire station replacement.
Chief Beeman is working with our consultant right now to get a really good estimate. That's been his estimate, just based on trying to communicate with other fire departments who've recently had a new construction. But he is working with our consultant, our owner rep, to work on a better number.
Basically, everything was here is something we're going to look at. Everything was on that list. Yeah?
Yes.
I'm sorry, you finished?
Yeah,
Okay, I couldn't hear
I'm
at all.
finished.
So, okay. Anybody else with questions for Ms. Rachel? All right, she's worked really hard on making this become something that we utilize, and I think we are at least at a starting point. I'm excited about it, and I do thank the department heads too, but hope it helps everybody kind of stay better focused on where there's opportunities and when we need to amend and add and change. And, you know, at the very least, we're very aware of what's on the horizon and we can plan. So thank you for your efforts in that, Ms. Nichols.
Could we have approval?
Have to speak.
Could we have approval
Oh,
of
we
this?
certainly may. So, motion to send it on to council for formal approval. Second, motion by Councilman Alexander, second by Councilman Jones. Any further questions,
I
discussion?
think it was Sean.
Huh?
Fennell motioned it.
Okay, I
You
thought,
said Alexander.
jeez, I can't hear anything tonight, and I think it's affecting my brain. So motion by Councilman Fennell, second by Councilman Jones. I was looking right at your name tag too, and I said that. That's what's scarier. All in favor of moving forward to council, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
I'm going to abstain because I need to look at it before voting. I can't vote on
Okay.
something I just got, so.
I heard yeses over here. You've said you're going to abstain. Can
Yes,
I assume
ma'am.
y'all are yeses as well?
I said yes.
Okay, thank you. So 6 in favor, 1 abstention to move forward to council. That concludes the regular agenda. It brings us now to other business. I do have several things, mostly road closures. But I do want to mention to you all the census. Did you send an email to the council today asking what I suggested, or you want me to mention it now? Okay. We're working on some better data for you to work with if you are willing to engage with your district. And for at-large members, you're not off the hook. You can help with all 5 districts. Our fire department is continuing to work on making great progress. Our police department worked a little bit, but it was not received well, but they did get a lot of numbers for us. And so we're greatly appreciative of our first responders who are helping in the field. Some of the citizens were like, they shouldn't be doing that kind of work. But it's not different than any public outreach that they would do in some other vein. And so it's an opportunity to go to the door, meet the residents, and try and collect their census information. But it is amazing to me how successful they are being in that. But that also tells me that you all can be successful in helping too. while we have looked at the numbers a lot, I think it'll be interesting to know that 4 and 5, I think it's 3 and 4 are the most undercounted districts based on the total population in those districts, which means there's a lot of opportunities still there to catch up with your residents and get those folks counted. And we're working towards that number. We're determined to get to that 50. It will make a big difference for our citizens. And remember what I said last week about help explain to people that this is money that will go to other communities if it doesn't come back to ours as it should. All that to say, we do have a refined list. Ms. Maddox has been working on it really hard. I think it's a lot easier for you to utilize. If you would like to have that list and work with it, please let Jenna or me know, and let us know if you would prefer to have it printed or if you would prefer to have it emailed to you, and we can do either. So I think you all can make a difference, even if you just go down the list and pick out the people that you know and call them and say, hey, I'm going to put your names in here for the census, and here's why. And if they don't say, don't you dare, then you can do it, right? Help would be appreciated. I've been doing that. Certainly our first responders have, and you guys could really help a lot, and we'd appreciate you doing that. I'm going to move on now to the street closures. So like I said, I have several of them here. The first is for the Gallatin Shamrock Run, benefiting the Gallatin Chamber Foundation. It is on the 8th of March. They're asking for a closure from 6:45 to 9:30. Starts and ends at Gallatin City Hall parking lot, and it closes Main Street from Locust to Hartsville Pike, Locust from Main Street to Broadway, Franklin from Locust to Boyers, Main Street from Main to Craft, Craft from Craft to Hartsville Pike, and Hartsville Pike from Craft to Locust, and the time is 6:45 to 9:30 a.m. Have signatures from all the safety officials.
Motion to approve?
Thank you. Councilman Carter makes a motion to approve that street closure on the 8th of March. Second by Councilman Giovanni. Any questions on it? Any discussion? Councilman Jones, Councilman Alexander, street closures for these kinds of events do come before this body for approval. You're welcome to look at a form because you've probably never seen one. We require all police, fire, public works, EMA to approve it so that they know that those things are going on. And if it affects businesses during their open hours, they also have to sign off on it. And in this case, they just have the public safety people signed off on it. So that's just for your information. So all in favor of approving that, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Okay, approved. 128. The second one is for a pep rally on the square, Spirit Night for local high school bands, cheerleaders, and teams. The request is from, I don't know. Okay, Gallatin Area Chamber of Commerce is making this request. It's for August 12th. It's a Tuesday. It would happen at noon, ending.
Motion to approve.
I don't know. I think I want to hold off on this one because it says noon to 10 p.m. on a Tuesday. I'm not thinking that is what they intended, because over here it says 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. down here. I'm gonna wait and get clarity on that one because that wouldn't really work the way it's written on there. Moving on to this one, it is another request by the Gallatin Chamber, and this is for the Gallatin Farm to Table Dinner. They close off the L of the square, which is the backside of the courthouse. The time that they're requesting is from Friday at 10 p.m. until Sunday at 2 p.m. And it's for their Farm to Table fundraiser event.
Motion to approve.
What are the dates?
The date is the 20th of September. I have a motion by Councilman Hayes. Second by, who over here? Carter. Second by Carter. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Okay, it is approved. The next one Yes, I'm sure. Oh, it's also from the Gallatin Chamber. And this is for the Gallatin Christmas Parade, which happens on the 13th of December. The starting time is 12 p.m. It ends at 2 p.m. Steam Plant Road from Airport Road to Hartsville Pike from Craft Street to Main Street from Main Street to Broadway, and Broadway from Broadway to Oscar Smith, with the parade ending at the Gallatin High School parking lot.
Motion to approve.
I think most of you know what that parade entails. Motion by Councilman Hayes, second by Councilman Fennell. Okay, all in favor, please say aye. Opposed, say no. Okay, those three are approved. I'm gonna bring this other one back to you when I get some clarity on what those times are supposed to be. I think that is all the other business that I have. You do have the numbers on your desk on the sales tax that's being brought in year over year. The new sales tax rate goes into effect March 1st? Yeah, March 1st. So that will be interesting to see when those numbers start coming in. Anyone else with any other business?
I do.
Okay. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
So I received a call earlier this week from a constituent that lives out in the Sugar Tree area, and was asking why none of us addressed the answer why we voted yes for the development for Twin Ponds. And so I just wanted to address that and say, personally for me, I'm excited about the connection to the park land that the city of Gallatin has out in that area.
Councilman Shabazz?
Thank you, Mayor. I got contacted by several residents on Concord Drive, and I've been talking to Nick and Richard about it, where there is a giant culvert who basically has no guardrail. It's not the developer fault. That's how kind of our code is written, where they have just enough distance between the road and the culvert to abide by the code. But when I went there, and I will email you pictures so you can understand, I was kind of almost horrified that we don't have any guardrail there, because
Where are you talking about?
on Concord Drive,
Say
Concord.
Concord.
Yeah, it's a nice subdivision, well done. And I actually went down the culvert and I can't reach the top of the road. So I think they contacted me with safety concern, and I agree with them. I think we should probably do something about it. We do that.
I'd suggest contacting engineering. I mean, you have now publicly, but engineering and public works, if you guys can look at that.
Yeah,
I remember there was an issue.
We're already looking at it. They looked at it. That's something we can do.
Well, then they'll move
me-
forward with it. We had a similar issue some time ago at the corner. Remember that corner of Airport Road and Cairo? There was that big dip, and then a lot of people complained about something on Peach Valley, but I forget how that was remedied. But it's not uncommon to have those things, and then they'll address them and see what might be done.
Yeah, we already talked about it.
Okay.
Richard
Well, then,
got a quote on it.
The issue is that there's not funding for it. I mean,
Okay,
it's
but I mean-
significant.
I'll follow up with you all and see what you think needs to be done, and if there's something that we can do, or if it's something that we need to ask to be done, and we'll take it through the
Who,
process.
can I ask a question? Who put the culvert in?
The developer,
You not be required to do something like that when it's complete or before it's
well,
complete?
by code, it's far enough away from the road that doesn't necessitate one.
Yeah, I think it's an issue with our code, where
It's more of just the citizens want something there than
Yes, yeah.
about liability. I don't think the city has any.
Yeah.
I don't want to speak for certain of that, but
Well, I'd be interested in just having a conversation with you guys about where you think there's comparable situations and what we've done in the past, and if there might be a solution that we could navigate. Maybe talk to the developer about it.
I actually contacted him, talked to him, and he's going to get back to me with some he's telling me when they gave the HOA back to the citizen, they supposedly left some money in the HOA for railing on that place, but I haven't got the other side, so I can't say it's true or not. But something really needs to be done. It's a bad situation waiting to happen.
Anybody else with any other business? Okay. Department head reports. Financial reports. Ms. Nichols.
The financial reports, excuse me, for September, October, and November were included in your packet. I apologize that we got behind the holidays and the lack of meetings, and just kind of fell to the side, but we're back on track now. Also, before the meeting, I handed out the local option sales tax numbers that we receive monthly. The mayor stole some of my thunder.
Sorry.
It's okay. March 1st, the new increase on the sales tax will go into effect. So in May, when we receive that money from the county, we'll see those numbers increase, we hope. And I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you, Rachel. Will there be a way to make it more friendly, understandable? Because I think if you don't have a PhD in accounting, it's kind of hard to follow. And I love numbers, but there is stuff on this software, like the positive is with a minus and the negative is with a positive. So that kind of, if they were able to get something more simple like P&L type, we have this amount of money, we owe this amount of money, we have this amount of money waiting to come in, and something where we can have actually an easy to read number. I know it's work, but that would be nice.
I can do that, or I can give you a breakdown of what the columns mean. If you want to turn to one of the pages.
You already gave me the breakdown once.
Okay.
On the columns, but
Okay.
even with that, that's kind of...
Okay.
I know it's your software, and I have an accounting software. If I was giving it to you, you'll probably be the same way than I am with that. So that would be nice. I would appreciate it.
I'll try to come up with something.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, any questions for Ms. Nichols?
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other department heads that want the floor this evening?
Yeah, I just need your approval. We're going to apply for $6 million grants from the Lowe's Incorporated, and they'll be for Thompson Park. I can give you a list that the Thompson Park is for the concession stand, basketball courts, pickleball courts, and shelters. At Municipal Park, it'd be for a new skate park. At East Main Park, it'd be playgrounds, paved tracks, shelters, and restrooms. And then the development of Langley Hall would be a cross-country trail, parking and restrooms. And then at Clearview, it'd be renovating the ball fields, tennis, pickleball courts, school parking, and a memorial. And then at Langley Hall, it'd be renovating the house, driveways, outbuildings. And what this is Lowe's is offering $1 million for each one of these, and we have to apply. So I have to come and ask y'all permission to apply.
But in my cursory, when I sent that to you all, and I just kind of read it, I'm not really sure we should be applying for all the different things. And I think we need to powwow and think about it. When's the deadline? Isn't it March?
I think it's February the 17th, but I'm not 100% sure. We talked to the Lowe's people, and they said apply for all of them, and you might get one, you might not get the other. So it would be better.
I don't know. And I know that there was some direction related to underserved youth and that kind of thing. And so we may want to refine it and think about it. And we have to write applications related to all those things.
I'm sorry?
We have to write applications related to all of those things.
Yes, and the and why I come tonight is just get the approval to apply for these.
And they're 100% grants?
100%.
Yeah.
And we may only apply for 3 of them once we talk to them or whatever, but tonight, you're not doing anything but just saying, yeah, you can apply. And then we have to have a 501c, and we have 2 organizations have already agreed to be.
Isn't Friends of the Miracle Park established as a 501c3?
Yes, they could be one of the
Yeah.
ones.
Ms. Nichols, does that meet our criteria for approval from this body to apply for a grant? Not to put you on the spot. Wait 1 second.
I'm not sure that council has to take any action. The city
just have to
is
notify-
not applying. The 501c3 will have to apply, not us.
Did you look at that application?
No, I haven't seen
See,
anything on it.
I'll have, like I said, I just looked at it briefly before I sent it to you, and I was thinking you could partner with 501c3, but it wasn't necessarily
They
required.
told us you had to. But
A lot of private donations and grants, you have to be a 501c3 to receive those funds. So
what we would be
whatever
doing is we'd be
501
getting it ready, and then they would present it.
Yeah, I just literally blew through that and forwarded it to you guys, so what I'm recalling may not be accurate.
And if the 501c3 applies, that's who would receive the money, and
So
then
it's
they would
really
have
not
to
even
turn
our
around
purview at all.
and donate it to the city.
Yeah, so it's not even our, yeah.
I don't think so. I haven't seen it, but I don't think we have to.
Well, we'll look back at it, and if there's any issues, we'll address them, but
You put the lazy river on it?
I'm sorry?
You put the lazy river on that list?
I don't think it meets the criteria. Okay, everybody's cool with that, I presume? A nod of
I was
the
gonna
head will
say though,
suffice.
could we possibly add or look at using some of the funding for the development of the land that we just purchased, possibly for soccer fields and lighting and all that good stuff? At Triple Creek?
Potentially, we're still waiting on the outcome of another grant related to that, too.
Gotcha,
so.
okay.
Right, and we'll know that in short order. Okay, cool.
Wonderful.
That would be very, very good. Any other department heads? Hey, y'all. Motion by Councilman Javant, second by Vice Mayor Hayes. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Ladies and gentlemen, have a lovely night. Councilman Fennell's already taking phone calls.